The white sheets told a story, but sometimes that story was wrong. On wedding nights long ago, young brides faced a terrible test, a test that decided if they lived or died, if they were loved or cast away. It wasn't fair, it wasn't kind, and for thousands of years, no one could escape it. This is the story of the virginity test, a tradition that destroyed lives across the world. From ancient palaces to medieval villages, brides waited in fear as the sun came up. What happened to those who failed? The answer will shock you. Hit that like button and subscribe. And once you reach the moment that unsettles you most, tell me where you're watching from. Let's begin. Picture a young girl on her wedding night. She's scared. Maybe she's only 14 years old, maybe younger. In the room, there's a white cloth on the bed. Everyone is waiting for morning, waiting to see if there's blood on that cloth. This happened in many places. In old Turkey, they called it tradition. In medieval Europe, they called it proof. In China, Japan, and across Africa, families demanded it. The test was simple but cruel. If blood appeared, the bride passed. If no blood came, she failed. And failure meant disaster. The girl lies awake all night. Her heart pounds. Outside the door, her new mother-in-law waits. Her own mother prays. Her husband sleeps, not knowing that morning might bring screaming. The room smells like flowers, but fear fills every corner. This wasn't about love, it was about control, about making sure a bride was pure before marriage. The white cloth would decide everything, her future, her safety, her very life. And there was no second chance. The sun rises, everyone rushes into the room. They grab the white cloth and look closely. Nothing. No blood, no stain. Silence falls like a hammer. The bride starts crying. She tries to explain, but no one listens. In that moment, her world ends. What happens next depends on where she lives and when. In some places, men come to take her away immediately, back to her father's house in shame. The marriage is over before it truly began. In other places, the family gathers to decide her punishment. Some brides were killed. Yes, killed because people believed they had lied. They thought no blood meant the bride wasn't a virgin. But here's the terrible truth that nobody knew back then. Many virgins don't bleed. Doctors today know this. About half of all women don't bleed their first time. It's normal. It's natural. Bodies are different. Some girls are born different. Some are active and athletic. The test doesn't work. It never worked. But for thousands of years, no one knew this. Or if they knew, they didn't care. The test continued, and innocent girls paid the price for bad science and cruel tradition. A bride who failed the test faced 3 possible futures. All of them were bad. The first was death. In some cultures, family members killed brides who failed. They called it defending honor. Brothers, fathers, even husbands became killers. Old records show these deaths written down like simple facts. She failed the test, she was killed. No trial, no mercy, just murder dressed up as justice. The second fate was exile. The bride got sent back to her family in disgrace. She couldn't marry again. No man would want her. She lived as a ghost in her own home. In Japan, some of these women became shrine workers, serving gods because no human would accept them. In Europe, they were hidden in churches, locked away from the world. The third fate might have been worst of all. Some brides stayed married but lost everything else. Their husbands treated them like servants, like criminals. The abuse never stopped because the sin could never be washed away. These women had no rights, no respect, no hope. Some cultures said a woman could earn forgiveness by having a son. But even then, the shame never fully disappeared. 3 paths, 3 kinds of suffering, and all because of a test that never even worked. So many of these brides were completely innocent. They had done nothing wrong. Their bodies simply didn't bleed, and they died for it. Some old doctors and midwives knew the truth. They saw that good girls sometimes didn't bleed. They saw that the test was unfair. But when they spoke up, people ignored them. Tradition was stronger than truth. Girls who rode horses didn't bleed. Girls who worked hard on farms didn't bleed. Girls who were just born different didn't bleed. None of it mattered. The test decided guilt, not facts. There are heartbreaking stories in old records. A girl in Turkey who swore she was innocent right up until they killed her. Her family investigated later and found out she was telling the truth. Too late. A bride in medieval France who was sent away. Years later, a doctor examined her and confirmed she had been a virgin all along. But she had already spent 10 years locked in shame. The test destroyed lives randomly. Sometimes guilty people passed, sometimes innocent people failed. It was like flipping a coin, except the coin decided if you lived or died. And still, the practice continued for centuries. Why? Because it wasn't really about truth, it was about control, about making women afraid, about giving families power over young brides who had no voice and no choice. You might think this is ancient history, something that ended long ago, but you'd be wrong. The virginity test survived for a very long time. Even when some countries banned it, people kept doing it in secret. In the 1800s, doctors created new versions of the test. They claimed their methods were scientific. They weren't. They were just new ways to hurt and humiliate women. In the 1900s, some governments actually made the test part of their laws. Brides needed to pass before they could marry legally. Women started fighting back. Brave women spoke out against the tradition. They wrote books, they protested, they went to court. Slowly, laws began to change. Country by country, the test was banned. Doctors declared it medically worthless. The World Health Organization called it harmful and wrong. But even today, right now, some places still practice virginity testing. It happens in hidden corners of the world where old traditions hold strong. The blood on those wedding sheets stained more than fabric. It stained history. Thousands of brides suffered and died because of a test that never worked. Their voices were silenced, but their story must be heard. We remember them not to judge the past, but to make sure these cruelties never return. Every bride who failed that terrible test deserves to be remembered. Every innocent girl who died deserves justice, even if it comes centuries too late. Their story is over, but its lessons remain. And that's why we tell it today.